Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Tuesday, the 13th of April, comes to you from London. And it's a bit more mixed today, more green than we had yesterday on the screen. So that's my first glance. We're looking, first of all, at the dollar index, remembering this is the long-term weekly, medium-term daily, and short-term 60-minute chart. So we see here the dollar is finding some support at around this 92 level on the dollar index level there, and looks like we're undergoing a transition back to short-term bullish. The medium-term trend is bullish, and the long-term trend, we're seeing that turnaround. So dollar strength is becoming a theme again. Euro sitting at 119, so it's just starting to roll over as that dollar strengthens. Sterling sitting at 137.51, so starting to look a little bit stronger against that dollar as well. It has been weaker. Remembering the dollar's been weak, sterling's been even weaker, but we're starting to see sterling gain a bit of an upper hand. And against the euro, we're at 115.5, again turning a corner here from that sell-off that we saw last week. So that's quite key as well. Bitcoin up nearly 5% this morning, pushing ever higher, looking very strong indeed. And the S&P 500 index was down very slightly overnight, so no real change there. And the same with the Nasdaq, not much change here, still not managing to make new highs. And if we look at the futures, up 0.4% on the S&P and 0.04% and 0.01% on the Nasdaq, suggesting the market will open dead flat. And if we look at the VIX volatility, little change there as well, still pretty low at around this 17 level. So markets fairly sanguine at the moment. The FTSE future is down 0.12%. The DAX in Germany, the cash market, is up 0.25%, so they're slightly up. The CAC Quarante up 0.35%, so seeing a bit of a performance improvement there. In Europe, in Asia, we were pretty flat as well. The Shanghai Composite down 0.5%. The Indian market actually recovering up 1%. So after its big falls, 3.5% lower the day before. So a little bit of recovery there, but virus fears persist. The Aussie market, virtually no change. So equity markets globally showing little change at all over the past 24 hours. Taking a look at gold, we're sitting at 1727, slightly back into the bearish trend here. But the key thing is we hold this support at around 1670, so that's the level to watch. Silver just below the $25 mark again, so that's short-term bearish as well. US 10-year yields sitting at nudging that 1.7% level. We've gone sideways really for the last few weeks, having had this big run up. That target of 3.27, let's say 3.3%, still persists. Note the target to 1.74 was reached. That is bullish confirmation. Targets being met. And if we look at the 30-year, we do have a downside target not activated, and again the upside target's met. We've got to wait for a new one on the 30-year yield. Looking at the energy mix, Brent crude, we're just waiting for the break, still very much in this range. Really at 65, 61 is the range there, very tight range building. It's even tighter really now at about 62.50, 64.50, so that $2 is really the sign there. Keep an eye on these 1 minute charts, that's where we're going to get the real heads up, and don't be surprised to see a little bit of a failed breakout. That's been seeing quite a bit of that lately, where we break higher and then we break lower, so just keep an eye on these targets. Looking at US nat gas sitting at 255, we were bullish for clients yesterday, and for this week seeing a new bull trend, upside targets there to play for. Coal sitting at 71.50, so having fallen back, found support at 70.40, so looking a little bit better. We were neutral coal this week, and emissions we felt were going to break higher. They did yesterday, pulled back a bit this morning, but we've got this new column building for a new price target, and we've got the short-term targets still looking pretty good. Gas markets are lower this morning, NBP down 0.8%, and TTF looking a bit stronger. We were bearish MBP, but we were neutral MBP and bullish TTF this week, so Quite interesting to see that divergence there. We're looking at German power. We've pulled back a little bit here on the 60-minute chart to find cloud support. We do still have these upside targets, so it's still looking pretty good. And if we look at Nordic power, not much change here, but we have had this strong recovery back to bullish. Looks like we will break higher, having had lots of downside targets all starting to come off the charts. That one met. No clarity really on the upside here. We've got a little mini target, but not that exciting. And we'll probably find resistance around 28.25. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.